coalition of groups within the People's Democratic Party has called on the party to zone the 2027 presidential ticket to the southern part of the country in order to wrestle power from the ruling All Progressives Congress. The coalition of PDP intellectuals, a global network of support groups made up of intellectuals, made the call while addressing a press conference in Abuja on Monday. The coalition's national coordinator, Grema Mohammed, said, and I quote, "As we build up to 2027, we are staunchly warning the leaders of our party that this time we must put party interests first, and above all, we must return the party to the southern part of the country." We are now being joined by Bolaji Abdullahi, a former Minister of Sports and a staunch member of the People's Democratic Party, to speak about the clamor for zoning the party's presidential ticket to the south in 2027, its prospect and how this can be of benefit in the face of the fact that the current president, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, is from the south. Good afternoon. Thank you so much for joining us on Newsday.
Good afternoon. Thank you very much. My pleasure.
So are you in agreement, with the groups calling for the PDP's presidential ticket to be assigned to the southern region of the country in 2027?
Well, I mean, it's strange. I mean, that in the context of all the problems and challenges that the party is facing, that this is the kind of conversation that we'll be having about where the PDP should zone its presidential ticket in 2027. I think before you even begin to consider that, you have to ask yourself, do you have a political party that's in a position to even contest election in 2027? You must have a party first before you begin to. I don't think any honest PDP member today can say that PDP is in a position, to contest election and win power back in 2027. So I think the people making the call, they must know why they are doing that. But I don't think that should be the priority at this moment. I think there's a lot more work, more important work that needs to be done before we even begin to talk about that. Except, of course, if such a call is made in the context of how it can lead to the rebuilding of the party, which I don't see, So I think for me, it's not a question of whether I agree or not. The question is whether, in the context of as a strategy for rebuilding the party, whether that actually fits in as priority.
Well, I know you're not, you are a member of the People's Democratic Party, so I will be asking you whether there is any shred of possibility at all that you see a situation where Peter Obi becomes a candidate for the PDP. Do you see him coming back to the party? Do you see any kind of reconciliation in those regards?
I mean, it's politics. Anything is possible. I mean,
right.
I don't have any information about who is planning to go to which party. But what I know is that in politics, anything is possible. And fundamentally, I think for me, is that until we build the political system, until we rebuild our political system and strengthen the parties to the extent that people can comfortably hope that they can win power by remaining in a particular party for long and based on the convictions that they have, then seeking power or winning power become the sole driving force of belonging to a political party. I mean, I'm saying as a politician, I know that every politician wants to win power, wants to be in government, wants to, but at the same time, I think it's about time that we begin to ask ourselves, what do we really believe in and what do we really stand for? At the moment, that much of that is missing, but there are a few people who are having this conversation and asking themselves, like, this is not the kind of legacy that we want to bequeath to the next generation. It's about time that we begin to that we begin to really seriously ask ourselves some of the fundamental questions that we did not ask in the past. You know, that it should not just be about gaining power now, but it's also be about framing some conviction around what we are doing. You know, so I think we are going to get there. But regarding whether I think that Peter Obi can go back to PDP, why not? I mean, I think PDP itself will have to get to a point, and I think they are getting to that point, where we'll have to acknowledge that if we want to go back to power, what are those things that need to be done? So I think it will get to that point that everybody will be saying, okay, hang on, what is the priority here, and what should we be doing if we want to gain power? So whoever wants to come in, allow them to come in, you know, regardless of what they aspire to, as long as it's going to contribute to the strengthening of the party. I think the kind of situation that led him out of the party in the last election, ahead of the last election, those situations still exist. No, but I think people have got to a point now that they are asking themselves whether we are truly desirous of returning to power, and what are the kind of compromise or the kind of concessions that have to happen before that is possible.
Well, Mr. Bolaji Abdullahi, former sports minister, thank you so much for joining us on Newsday.